My Journey, Jill Shelton's story in her own words. Jill talks about the nature of her disability.
I have an adolescent form of macular degeneration. It's called Stargardt's disease, and it causes central vision impairment. I was diagnosed with Stargardt's when I was 14 years old, when I had first moved to Chattanooga. It was really difficult at first. I was in high school, and at that point you're really concerned about being like everybody else, and it was difficult if people asked me to read in the classroom. I couldn't see to read in the classroom, and so it was embarrassing. So it was really difficult for me at first, and I really did whatever I could to hide the fact that I had a visual impairment, because I wanted to be like everybody else. So, at that point I didn't have any accommodations in the classroom. I didn't have any assistive technology, so it was really hard to function.
Jill talks about the assistive technology and vocational rehabilitation programs.
Well, once I was actually diagnosed with my eye disease, they sent me to Smyrna, Tennessee to have an evaluation and to see what kind of assistive technology would help me. And after that, they found out that a CCTV, which enlarges text, and some screen reading software for the computer would be ideal. And so I opened my relationship with Vocational Rehab, and it went from there. They sent me to the Signal Center, and that's where they decided exactly which pieces of each kind of equipment I should use.
Jill demonstrates the Kurzweil reader, a portable printed document reader.
Field of view report. Portrait orientation. All four edges are visible. 71% filled. Picture.
And I bet she'll still read it to me good.
Our mission: strengthening children, adults, and families through services focusing on disabilities, early childhood education, and self-sufficiency. Our vision: a community that fosters lifelong independence for children, adults, and families. End of text.
Jill talks about her college education.
I've received a bachelor's degree in psychology, and after that I received a master's degree in research psychology from the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. And from that point I decided I wanted to be an experimental psychologist, and so now I'm working on my PhD in experimental psychology. And I just received a grant through the National Institute of Health. It's a pre-doctoral fellowship for students with disabilities, and it took quite a bit of time to read all the material necessary to submit that grant proposal. So again, the assistive technology helped me to do that. It helped me to cover all of the material I needed, and I'll receive my PhD in about 3 semesters. I wouldn't be able to take tests. I wouldn't be able to read to study my tests if I didn't have that assistive technology.
Jill talks about her support system.
Well, I've been married now for 3.5 years, and I married my best friend, so I kind of lucked out there. And he's always been really supportive of me. I've been lucky in general with my family. My mom and my dad and my husband have all been very supportive of me, and they help me with mobility to get around, and they drive me everywhere. And so which is, now I live in Louisiana and my life is there, and yet all of my family's still here in Chattanooga, so it's nice to have somebody there to help me get back and forth. And I think to have the support of friends and family around you makes a huge difference. And so I'm really thankful to my husband and my family for being so supportive.
Jill discusses her attitude about the future.
It's a whole different world now. Now I'm excited to tell people that I have a disability. Any opportunity I get, I want to talk to people about it, to let people know that I'm just like everybody else. I just have to do different things to do the same kind of tasks that everyone else does. And so I like the opportunity to share my experience with other people, and hope that it helps people, even people without disabilities. I think it's important to let them know that we're not so different. Everybody has obstacles to overcome, and they each have their own way of doing that. And for me, I've used assistive technology that I've received through VR, and that's allowed me to live like everybody else in the world. And so I'm excited, and I feel blessed to have had the experience that I've had.
Credits page. My Journey, starring Jill Shelton. Produced by Ezra Reynolds in conjunction with Signal Centers of Chattanooga.